Okay, now y'all, I gotta tell y'all about the Enter the Womb conference. I kept calling it a retreat because it did feel like a retreat. I'm not gonna rattle off all the names of people who spoke and stuff because I know I'm gonna mess them up. But the part, because most of the people who spoke, you can see them, videos or whatever. I was one of the people who spoke. I was excited, so that I got the opportunity to speak. I've never been a speaker before, so now I can say I'm a speaker. But the thing that was the best about, okay, so we left Charlotte. I had my friends from Atlanta. They came and met me here. We drove up, and we got to Hillsborough, and it was like the energy was already there. So we got there early so we could help set up and everything. But as the women started to arrive, oh my gosh. And I did take my daughter. My friend took her daughter with her too. But it was just so good to be in the presence of women of that caliber. You know what I'm saying? Like, women who, most of them, I felt like they were very self-aware, but they just, most of them like oozed this love and this expectation, and it was just, it was so good. So, and they were just, beautiful. Like, I was surrounded with like literal goddesses. Amazing. The group was so eclectic, but it was like everybody they were amazing. It was amazing women. And I was walking around thinking like, you need to present at the conference next year. You need to present at the conference next year. You need a vending table, But the presentations were great. The vendors were great. And the guy who cooked the food, which I really can't remember his name, his wife is the one who wrote the book, What's in Your Womb. But he did raw tacos. It was like a taco shell, but it had raw ingredients. I think it was walnut meat and stuff like that in it. And then he did a wrap version of it. So you get 2 tacos for like $5, and then you get a wrap for $5, and then kale salad for $5. It was so good. I even kept one of my tacos because I was too full. I kept it to the next day, and I know this probably sounds nasty, but it was good the next morning. So we stayed around. We did. We would do it would be like a speaker, then you have free time, then you have a speaker free time, whatever. And then in the meanwhile, people were setting up their tents and everything. So that was my first time sleeping outside. And because I love nature and everything, but I just never had a tent. And I wanted to go camping, but I didn't want to go by myself the first time, especially if I was like camping out, like where I can't get to a store. So I got a pop-up tent and what's called an instant tent. And the pop-up tent literally is like those little kid tents where you take it out there and it just pops. It's like that. The instant tent has those rods where you pull them apart and they click in place. So that was really good. And we just took basic stuff like the sleeping bag, water, pillow, snacks and stuff like that. But yeah, it was nice. And Ann was kind enough to treat the yard where we didn't have, stuff coming out the woods, to like camp out with us or whatever. And then we got up the next morning because we did a fireside chat with, God, why did it just fly out my head? Anyway, you'll probably know them by My Aunt and Sirius, but they changed to their Ifa names, which is Ayoka and Fakunle. But they did like a fireside chat, and they did this freaking chant, like to help them connect, I guess, with each other. That shit was hot as hell. I was like, I gotta learn that chant to do with my husband. But he was like saying that if I did the chant, because it was like one part when it was like, she said, He'll say, I'm the sun, I'm the moon, I'm the sun. And they were going back and forth, right? My husband was saying that I would be like fighting with him saying, no, I'm the sun. Just because I got a strong personality, but whatever. We won't talk about him right now. So we did a fireside with them, and then everybody made their way to their tent, or some people set up, whatever. And we got up that morning, just kind of everybody got up when they wanted to get up. And I was supposed to be doing yoga, but it wasn't really a lot of, like, the vibe wasn't really for yoga. So I didn't push it. And then I thought I was supposed to be breaking my tent down, but people weren't really like pressed for it. It was this one beautiful sister. She had a smile like the freaking sun. She just went ahead and did her yoga, which seemed appropriate. Because that's what she wanted to do. I'm like with retreats. I like retreats where I can do what I want to. Now, if people had said, okay, I want to do it, then yeah, we would have done it. But everybody was kind of milling around and talking, and we were still having conversations. And what actually ended up happening is I was actually able to have two necessary conversations with two sisters that, had we done the yoga, I wouldn't have been able to have. And they were extremely important conversations to me. So I'm one of those people that feels like you don't have to force things. You need to kind of flow as needed. And I needed to have those two conversations. And they were much more important than doing yoga for me. Yeah, I needed to have those two conversations. Because, of course, they were about self-love or whatever. But the fact that I wasn't doing yoga is what allowed them to have time to pull me to the side and have these conversations. And the night before we went to sleep, we actually had some lucid dream tea. I don't know who made that, if it was Ann or Omi or both of them, I don't know. But I'm going to need one of them to sell that on their website, because that stuff wasn't no joke. It's night tea, and it does give you lucid dreams. It was really cool. I'm trying to think of other little details. But anyway, we did have a time we asked people what they'd be interested in for next year. Everybody said that they wanted to be longer. So we're looking at doing the whole weekend next year, which I think will be fun. It will give us more space for more speakers, and more speakers, more people, more vendors, stuff like that. And looking at a place that maybe will offer tents, like camping for those of us who want to camp, offer that, and a place that'll offer some cabins and stuff, for people who don't want to really like go in a tent. But it was excellent. Omi did what I consider to be a fireside chat, but she was talking about womb trauma, and talked about touch. I can't remember if she called it the power of touch, but she talked about touch and how it's so important. And and Maya and Sirius had to leave early, but they were answering questions for people. Like, we all wrote down questions about relationships or, whatever, and they were able to answer the questions during their fireside chat. So it was really good. So I really, I just want to do a quick review. I hope that y'all are able to come next year. It was family friendly this year, but next year we're going to make it even more family friendly. Because my 15-year-old went with me, and she learned a lot, and she was still talking about it, has still mentioned it a few times, but was talking about the impact that the different women that she met had on her, and how she, had learned so much, and she wanted to be around more women like that, which was a big deal, because and it also tells you too that though we need to expose our girls more often to the women we want them to not aspire to be, but to give them a different option for what a woman is, because so many times we're bombarded with this same homogenous type of black woman, big butt, big titties, no waist, and booty popping on a video, which I'm all for booty popping, you know what I'm saying? But that's not all I do. You know, I'm one that I feel like children need to understand that we're whole beings. Like, you'll see people say stuff like, why don't you read a book instead of twerking? Well, I'll do both, thank you. You know, or real women do this. Wild women do as they please. You know, it's like you want to give them the full spectrum. Like, there were times when we were serious at the retreat and we were talking, and there were times when healing was happening and people crying and, you know, releasing and Reiki being done kind of impromptu and stuff like that. But there were other times where it was some booty shaking going on and we laughing and cackling about it, or, you know, whatever. Because we can do what we want. We can do what we please. Nobody sets boundaries. Real, you know, wild women do as they please. And I was around a group of wild women. And it was beautiful, you know. So anyway, I just want to give y'all an update because I know I had mentioned the Into the Womb conference a few times in videos, and I just wanted to, you know, give y'all an update on how it went. Again, I'm abundantly grateful. I mean, abundantly grateful that I got the opportunity to speak. And it seemed that it was received well, and I'm just grateful. I'm grateful, yeah. I just am, and I'm still riding high off of it. Now I gotta get caught up, because I was supposed to be doing, because I had people who won my challenge before we left, so I have like 5 readings I have to do, and 5 readings and like 2 coaching sessions I have to catch up on. So yeah, so anyway, on that note, yeah, contact me if you're interested in the different readings that I offer, or the different coaching sessions that I offer, or workshops. You can find all of that information on my website, which is earthmotherguidance.com. So earthmotherguidance.com. So let me know what you need. I hope this kind of helped y'all get a feel for how everything went. It was great. I have, like, you know, new sisters now. And just understand that even if you don't have a circle of sisters is essential. If you don't have one, these are the kind of places that you need to go. So you can be exposed to healthy women that are on their path to healing. That's what you build your circle out of. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching. This is Fashayo, the Earth Mother of earthmother.com, earthmotherguidance.com. Check me out, see if there's anything that I offer that you need that will make you healed and whole. Odabo.